Hey guys, welcome to another video in the first few minutes series. This is where I take a look at the first few minutes of a new customer journey. And today I'm going to be looking at Prise, which is some kind of task management or task sorting, I'm not sure. So the H1 is find the right task at the right time, the amount of things to do to get done, but you don't know where to start. Prise reduces the overwhelming task list to the things you need to do right now. Okay, so this is actually closed at the moment, but I believe probably by the time this goes live, it may well be open to the public. So I'm going to go ahead and sign up. Nathan. So no option to sign up with existing platforms, i.e. Google, etc., which would be nice. Always my first option, save potential customers time and hassle. And Google tripping, yeah, and preserve my privacy as well. And so let's go ahead and sign in. Thank you for registering. We sent you an email to confirm your account. Once you confirm your account, you'll be able to access your 14-day free trial. Okay, let me check my email and I'll get right back to you. Okay, so I've clicked on the link in my confirm the email address. But now it's asking me to click on another button to confirm my email address, even though it's taking me from the link. I would presume that that would just take me straight in because I've already clicked on the link to confirm my email address. So if you can get rid of this, that would be fantastic. Okay, so now I've confirmed, now it's asking me to log in. So it's definitely something that I would want removed. If I'm clicking on a link to confirm my email address, then I should be confirmed and I should automatically be able to log in. That would be the ideal situation here. And now I have to go through the login again. Okay, so definitely putting steps in the way of the user to get in, and something I'd love to see streamlined. Okay, so we're dropped into a very empty dashboard with lots and lots and lots of white space and no explanation really of what it is I'm supposed to be doing. I can see a help and support here hidden down the bottom, and a back button, but I don't know where it goes back to because I haven't come from anywhere, and your spaces. So okay, there's nothing. I don't know what a space is. I don't know why I would want to create a space. Create a space for all of your tasks. Okay, fair enough. But I think that would need to be inverted. You know, so tell me what the space is for first, and then give me the option to create, because here is creating a space, but I don't know why I need to create it. Oh, I need to create it to add my tasks. So I would invert this. Okay, so I'm going to play devil's advocate and click on back. Oh, okay. You definitely want to get rid of that back button, especially after logging in, because that just takes me straight back to the login again. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a space. My first... Seriously, can't wait for this new computer. This keyboard is terrible. My first space. Okay, so a space could be for your work or personal tasks, for your company, your team, or related family tasks. Okay, so you've told me there. That's great. Profile is related to my email. That always feels incredibly impersonal. I know, have I filled out my name yet? I have. And I can see my name up there in my profile. So why is my profile associated to my email and not to my name? It feels incredibly impersonal. I would love to see that changed. So we're going to go ahead and create. It says here create a new space, and then the button is create. Obviously the connection is there, but don't forget that you're dealing with people. So it might be nice just to be a bit more explicit here and just say, yeah, create my new space. It just ties the two together. And there's a little warmer as well. So we'll go ahead and create. See, now you've called me Nathan. Okay, so hey Nathan, no tasks. Get started by creating your first tasks. Okay, so there's a bit of a weird layout issue going on here. It's not center aligned, it's not left aligned, it's just floating here in the middle. It's probably restricted in its width, and maybe it's centered according to the width. But I'm on a larger screen, and so that's not quite working. There's a huge amount of white space going on now. It'd be really nice to try and reduce this somehow. I realise there's not a lot going on in the app at the moment, so that's tricky. but definitely want to look at ways of doing this. I'm going to dive into the app a bit more before I come back to this. So no tasks. Get started by creating your first tasks. Okay. Okay. So it's nice that it automatically goes straight down to the next task. I don't have to click on anything or anything silly like that, which, believe me, you see. Okay, so not sure what the tick is for. Mark as complete. So what's the checkbox for? To mark as complete as well? Seems strange to have two, and especially when the tick is right next to delete. Is it gonna, because you could quite easily click one instead of the other. I mean, let me just check if it double checks on the click, on the delete. Confirming. Okay. Great that you're confirming, especially if I click this by mistake, but I've got to confirm all the way down here. And in fact, there's nothing here on my cursor that says, it tells me to click, but there's nothing, my cursor is not telling me this is what's going to happen. So let me try. Okay, so maybe it's just because the app isn't ready yet. I guess it's a couple of days until launch. Okay. Yes, you need to sort that out. So I clicked on the link. This is what happened. Let me reload the page. So I clicked on delete, then the help text came all the way down the bottom of the page, which is, if you're not looking, you're not going to see it. I would definitely want to move that closer up to the header area if this is the way you need to do it. But I think there are better ways. And so I was clicking click trash to confirm. But of course, they're referring to the trash icon up here, which I clicked in the first place. Very confusing. I would definitely want to either bring this message up to the top of the page or a little modal, but if you don't want to do a modal, then I'd keep this here, or even just some little overlay or something here. It doesn't have to be a modal, but something that shoots out here saying, hey, click again, you know, because that's very confusing. Okay, so we've got a couple of tasks. And again, we've got this down the bottom of the page. I definitely want to move this up to the top. Okay, so we've added a task or two. Let me remove this. Second task. Now, I would presume that there will be some kind of done button here, or done, or take me to my space. This belongs to a space, I believe. So I've got tasks, dashboard, my first space. You know, but it would be nice. Okay, I finished filling out my tasks. Now I click finish adding tasks, and then that would take me straight back to the first space which they belong to. Oh. Okay, so clicking on my first space and doesn't do anything. Click on tasks. No, so dashboard, because I don't know where else to go. Okay, now I'm confused. Recommendations. Let me go back. Recommendations. I'm not sure why this is a recommendation. What is it recommending? And then so my space is my first space, the space I created. But for some reason the second task is not in the first space. Why is that separate? This was part of the same list. Why has it been separated out? I think this is a slightly different color to here. And no idea why. Oh, it didn't. I clicked outside of it. I clicked outside. Did it save? No. Okay, that's a very dangerous. So I've clicked outside. The font now is the same color. Maybe it was previously as well. I'm not sure, but so unless I click enter, it's not saving. Okay, you definitely need some feedback there on what's been added and what hasn't, because I could have. Well, actually, no, I couldn't. I could only do that for one and lose one, because as soon as I add another, then it's saved. But you definitely need some feedback there to show me that a task has been added to that list. See, this shows me now that this is in my first space, but when I go to my first space is only showing me the first task. Surely the second task, third task, etc. should all be underneath my first space. Tag 1, anxiety, concentration. Okay. So, it's a to-do, it's work. So I'm going to click on save on second task. And given that there's nothing else to do here after clicking save, maybe you can just take them straight back to where they were. And maybe to make that even clearer, because once I click save, there's nothing for me to do, right? So maybe you can make this a bit more explicit and say save and go back to dashboard or something, because I'm not going to do anything else here unless I realise I've made a mistake. But yeah, very confusing that these tasks aren't within this area, this white area here that says my first space, because that's where they were created. How am I feeling? So I clicked on ambitious, and then the first 3 tasks came up. Is that because I think I can get them all done, so I'm being ambitious? Because here there's no, why are you asking me this question? Say, hey, to explain, so, hey, let's help you get through this list quickly today. How are you feeling? Something that's going to help them realize that something is going to happen, because okay, so if I click on stressed or tired, nothing comes up. Okay. Right, well, let's click on settings. We've got profile settings and space settings. Okay, so there's nothing, I believe there's nothing I can do. Is that a logout icon? No. Confusing. My spaces, again, takes me in. It's not very clear that you're clicking through to something. Okay, so let's go back here, space settings, list of spaces, click into a space to make changes. Okay, maybe that was on the other screens as well, but I didn't read it. You have to rely on people not reading things. Okay, so I think there are definitely, and again here, your profiles, I would just have my profile as being my first space, or whatever the name of the profile is. I don't think it's helpful to have my email address underneath the profile and the profiles that belong to that account underneath. Can you have multiple profiles? If you can't, then I think this is unnecessary. I would just add your profiles and then the list of profiles. Yeah, so I think there's definitely a lot of room for improvement here, but luckily I think it's all very basic, easy fixes. Guidance, some of the click-throughs. Why are they showing me certain tasks in certain areas and others in another? General explanations of why I'm doing things, or why I should do something, or in the order I should do it. Tooltips or overlays, or being in one area when the action is in another. Things like that, but things that I think are relatively easy fixes. Don't forget, Also, my email is cutting off here, obviously a minor detail. But these are all things and all places where your customers, your potential customers, will trip and fall and probably be discouraged. So these are things you definitely want to fix. Okay, I hope this was helpful. There will be another review tomorrow. Don't forget, 31 reviews, one each day for the month of May. If you want to get your SaaS reviewed, just leave a comment below in the Twitter feed. Cheers.